Hi guys, Chloe again. I wanted to do a bit of a yoga class surrounding the theme of the upcoming new moon in Aquarius on the 9th. Love Aquarius energy. It's very sort of innovative. It's ruled by Uranus, which is quite a rebellious planet. So they're quite innovative, out there, unique people, and as an air sign, they're very communicative. And you know, happy birthday to all of you out there who are Aquarians, because you've got a new moon in your sign. Fantastic for, you know, manifesting under as a new moon. I also like that Aquarius, it sort of has both an air sign energy as well as a water element to it, because the symbol for it is the ripples, but also the water bearer. And so those little ripples kind of, for me, represent like the ripples of communication on the winds, you know, the breeze of things coming in, of change, of cleansing, and water, cleansing, you know, clarity, and like life source as well with water. And so just a really, really fantastic energy. So I'm going to read a little bit out of the Aquarian New Moon, out of my book, which is The Astrology Almanac by Emma Howarth. Yeah. So, New Moon in Aquarius gives you some time. So, in the UK, shout out to all you other UK people, it's at 22:59 in New York. Sorry to all those people from New York about my terrible New York accent. 17:59. Los Angeles, 14:59, and Tokyo, 7:59. So that's just a run through of some of it. It will happen on the 10th in Australia and Tokyo, actually, so not on the 9th for you. So it says, a super new moon in progressive Aquarius ushers in a positivity, power up, and then some. This is the ideal new moon for change makers, activists, and anyone on a mission to find their people and set intentions to create action. Want to change the world? You've got this. Ready to go your own way? That too. Dreaming about setting up a space-age commune in some distant magical land? I would love that. Not as far out as you think. The future is yours with an Aquarius new moon. And then it tells you all of, you know, things, how the Aquarian moon might affect you specifically as your sign. I am, however, going to do a tarot reading, not in this video, but I'm going to pull a tarot reading surrounding new moon as well, where you will get to see me unbox these jazzy, glittery, I feel very sparkly Aquarian-y cards. We've got butterfly wings, the picture on the front card, but they are the Sparkles edition Rider-Waite. So you'll get to see me open those, which are by Tarot Collectibles. And yeah, really nice like early spring deck, and I feel I've got like lots of lovely Aquarian-y vibes all over them. So you can find out more about all of that in that reading, so look out for that, which I've not done yet, so but I will. Anyway, let's get started. So we're going to start in a child's pose in our balasana. So if you're not comfortable with like a bit pinching in your lower back, or you've got any discomfort there, maybe stack your fists and pop your forehead on your fists like so, or maybe raise your hips somewhat and take a higher one. Otherwise, just rolling down, and we're going to just connect that third eye chakra to the mat and take some deep breaths. We're also welcoming in the beginning of spring. We've just passed that in bulk point. I did a tarot reading on that if you want to go and look for that one. Might drop a link in the comments. If I manage to get the new moon one done, then I'll also drop that in the description, sorry, not the comments. Just tuning in, feeling the expansion of your rib cage, feeling your forehead connected to the earth, embracing that darkness of the new moon. So when the sky is at its darkest, the time for planting new seeds, new ideas. Imagine you are a seed grounding in, below the ground, slowly awakening to emerge into spring. Start to walk the hands to one side, doesn't matter which side, and bring your head back down to the mat. Maybe look underneath the armpit. Feel a nice stretch through the side body as you do that. Lovely, and then walk the hands the other way. Inhale as you do so, and your exhale, just relax down into it. Maybe your head comes to the mat. Maybe you're looking underneath that armpit. Feeling that lovely stretch at the rib cage. Walking the hands back to centre. Now bend at the elbows and bring the hands together in a prayer. Bring the head back down. And just pull your hands, if you can, behind your head. Grounding in. Maybe sending out some prayers or manifestations for this coming new moon, this coming new cycle. Lovely, and when you're ready, let's roll all the way up, emerging from your little seed pod. Fabulous. I'm just going to tuck the toes under if that's comfortable for you, and sit in with the knees bent. You can stack a block or stack a couple of blocks and pop those underneath the sit bones if this is going to be more comfortable for you. Otherwise, take the hands to the shoulders, big circles, awaken those little sprout branches, getting ready to grow up from your mat. Inhaling and exhaling as you circle those arms, awakening those shoulders, lovely, and send them back the other way. Maybe you change the flow of your breath as you change the direction of your arms. Notice if you're feeling tight in your shoulders today. Accept any sensations you're feeling in your body today. Acknowledge and accept. Wonderful. Now, give your own little drum roll, spring it on the way. Lovely. And we're just going to take one hand, I'll turn so you can see better, one hand to the shoulder and one hand to the head, and just pull as if you're sort of pulling your head away from the shoulder, and feel that lovely stretch through the neck. From the head to the shoulders while we're on our knees, like head, shoulders, knees and toes. We've done our toes, now we're doing our head. We've done our shoulders, and we're on our knees. Switch sides. Feel that juicy stretch at the side of your neck. Yum, yum. Notice if you're carrying a lot of tension in your neck today. Fabulous. Maybe we'll just do some little arm rotations while we're here as well. Sweep one round, back and forth, and switch sides. Back and forth. Try to connect with your breath to the rhythm. Wonderful. And then we'll do our wrists a bit. Take some little circles with the wrists. Lovely. And then we're just going to flick the fingers open to wake those forearms up. So we're not shaking the wrist, we're flicking through the fingers. If you watched my recent crow pose video, you will know what I'm talking about. So imagine you just wash your hands. How rude, no one's left a paper towel or a towel to throw your hands on, you try and flick the water off. Nice little analogy that I got from Nat from Yogi Flight School, who runs that. She is a fantastic, fantastic coach. She comes up with really, really funny analogy of things. Lovely. And then when you're ready, come onto hands and knees. I'm just gonna whip off the jumper. I've started to put some heat into my arms now. Oh, coming onto hands and knees in a tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and just start to inhale and dip the spine in your cow pose. Exhale and round the spine. Try and really grip with your fingers the mat and really push the mat away. Rounding that spine here. Inhaling, arching the back into your cow. Exhaling, really strong, grip the mat, push that ground away, protracting those shoulders in that cat pose. Inhaling, back into your cow. Exhaling and pushing the ground away in your cat. Lovely. I'm just going to circle a little bit here as well, so that your wrists are doing some little sort of circular motions. Wonderful. Maybe see if you can twist your hands so that the fingers are pointing towards one another. Walk them back round. See if you can turn them the opposite way around, so your toes are, your fingers are pointing towards your knees. And then just sort of lean back a little bit. So send your bum back towards the heels, but don't sit all the way down. Grip the mat with your fingers and see if you can keep the heels of the hands down while you sort of pull back a little bit. It should feel like a big juicy wrist stretch. Lovely. Sit back, shake it out a little bit. Shaker, shaker, shaker. Shake off all the bad vibes from the aura. Ah, she's a mad woman, but she doesn't care. Shake it all off, shake it all out. Brrr. Lovely. And from your cat-cow, we're going to inhale and kick the leg up. And then exhale and round it in. So just putting a little leg action into our cat-cow. So the spine arches as you look up and the foot comes up. Really pointing those toes. And then as you exhale, try and tap now the knee to the tricep, to the back of the arm. Anyone got idea how many I've done? I have no idea because I never count anything, sorry. Right, and switch sides. Kick up, allow the spine to arch. Exhale, round it in. Pointing those toes, and then we're going to take it to the tricep. Don't worry if you can't get the knee to touch the tricep, just have the intention of moving it towards it. And that's enough of that. Lovely. So, from here, stepping one foot forward, coming in to a bit of a lunge. You may want some blocks here, just to add a little bit of height. Feeling a nice stretch down into that hip flexor. Lovely. And when you're ready, you may be on blocks, you may not be. I'm just going to put mine back there for now. Knees stacked over the ankle nicely here as well, so that your knee is not overstretching. And then pull back and straighten out that hamstring. Point the toes to the sky to flex that foot. Allow the torso to bend towards the leg, towards the thigh, so hinging at this hip rather than rounding. But we're not aiming to bring the chest all the way down or the head over here. We're just awakening the body. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, look down. Inhale, knee bends. Exhale, leg straightens. So sort of Anjanasana to half Hanumanasana. And say, oh, good morning hamstring, or good afternoon hamstring, or wherever you are at in your day. Lovely. And then come up and see if you can bring your arms out in front of you, and then slowly see if you can twist to the side. Woo! Okay, and this time, when you twist to the side, see if you can air grab and bash yourself on the knee with your elbow. So you're going, oh yeah, manifestation time, new moon, oh yeah. Pulling the energy of the moon down from the sky, oh yeah. And then see if slowly you can start to, as you twist, work that elbow. I'll just flip around so you can see me. Work that elbow, so I'm bringing the arm back, I'm pulling down the energy from the moon, hell yeah, and get that elbow to sit on the outside of that knee. Doesn't matter if you're not there yet, just keep working on it. So I've done a few, hell yeah. And then when you're ready, bringing the arms right up above your head, grab your wrist with the opposite arm, the wrist that is on the bent leg, that's that wrist, that side, and then stretch to one side, opening those lateral muscles, this lat side bend, whee, and back to center, fabulosa, and then we're going to swivel, so leaving that foot at the front of the mat, we're going to swivel the other knee to the center, coming to face the long edge. Just move that block so you can see my foot. So we're in this sort of gate pose. You can option to leave the foot planted here or turn the toes up to the sky. We're just going to swing our gate. The gates are swinging. Forward and backwards, forward and backwards. If you want, you can also grip the ground or your mat here and put in a little chaturanga arm. So bending the elbows. I'm just going to move my glass of water out of the way because I feel like I'm going to face plant into it. So bending the knees as you come forward, shifting the hips back and bringing that nice stretch into the inner thigh. Gripping, shift forward over the wrists, and then sink the hips back. Fabulous. And when you're ready, we're going to flip over our lunge by just bringing the foot down behind, allowing your knee to swivel around like a pirouette on that front knee, and then step it. So the knee is stepped over the ankle again. Lunge on opposite side. Remembering if you are up on your blocks here, we're going to take that same half Hanuman to Anjanasana, low lunge motion. Connecting to the breath, exhaling, waking up the hamstring. Maybe as well have a little ankle roll here. We didn't do it on the other side, so I'll try and throw one in somehow else. If I've got a leg up at some point, I'll try and get you to rotate your ankle there. Okay, so back into that gate pose. We've been here before. Shifting back. Maybe you chaturanga arming, maybe you just swinging the gate. This is swinging the gate. Making sure those hands are under the shoulders as well. Ooh. If you are doing the chaturanga arms, making sure you are shifting forward as you bend. Oh, it's challenging. Maybe if you want to have a go at it but you're worried about face planting, maybe stick a cushion on the floor in front of you. But we're doing our upper body strength while we're flexing our inner thigh open and flexing our foot. Lovely jubbly. And I forgot to do the twists. Let's come back to the lunge, so back the way you came. And we're going to take the arms out in front and twist. Come to the front, arms out the front and twist. And then we're going to go grab the sky, grab the moon energy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Moon energy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Woo! Lovely. I personally found that side harder. Notice in your body if you have one side that is a little bit stiffer or less cooperative than the other. It's all normal. We all have them. Different days, different flexes as well. And then grabbing that wrist to rest on the same side as the bent knee and stretching the side body open again. Whoop-de-doo, lovely. And bring your hands back down to the mat. Nice. So pushing the hips back, so it's going to step back, stepping the feet back into a bit of a plank. So really engaging the core here, pushing the ground away, gripping through those fingers again, strong protracted fingers. I'm going to shift back and forward. If this is a lot for you, you can be on the knees and shifting like this. Maybe cross the ankles and shift like this so that you're putting a little bit more weight in. Find your level of comfort here. And when you're ready, shift the weight forward. See if you can bend the arms and clasp the sides of the body and then slowly lower down in your chaturanga. If that's not accessible today, just come down onto your belly from however or wherever. Scoop forward. You can come up onto the forearms here as your scoop forward in your sinks, or you can come up higher. Soft bend in your cobra. Send the hips back over those feet. And then let the hips rise up to the sky, finding your down dog. Maybe you need to adjust your hands a little bit. Walking the feet. Doesn't matter if your heels don't come all the way down to the mat. You're going to pedal out those dog feet. Taking the dog for a walk. If you find that you're rounding here, put a soft bend in your knees and that will straighten your back out some. Lovely. And I'm going to start walking the dog all the way to the top of the mat. Have a little sway in your hips. Lovely. Grab each opposite arms. So grab the elbows, and keep swaying. The feet are about as mat width apart. Lovely. Jubbly. And when you're ready, bring heel toe the feet together and round up, grounding through the feet, rolling through the spine. Oh, I'm growing into my full tree. Oh, but it's mountain pose, but I want to do pruning the tree analogy because it's like the awakening of spring. Because we have just come back past that in bulk point. Lovely. Invite you to bring the hands up overhead. Deep breath. Invitation for mini back bend. Otherwise, just wriggle your fingers here. If you're doing mini back bend, make sure those butt cheeks are powerfully engaged to protect that lower spine. Bring your hands down. And I'm just going to roll the ankles out here as well because I'm aware that I rolled out one ankle without rolling the other one out earlier. So if you can remember which one we didn't do that one. But no, just for good measure, do the one a little bit as well, just in case you don't know which one you did. Just do one more if you know which one it was we didn't do. Lovely. was I with it? Oh yes. So, grounding down through his feet, sinking the hips towards the ground as if you're going to sit into an imaginary chair. Tuck the tailbone. No, we're not doing no twerking here, sadly, today. Lifting the arms up. Gaze can be straight forward or a little bit down at the mat, as long as your neck and your spine are in one long line. Lovely. And then bring the hands to heart center and see if you can twist to the side. Hello. And take it back to center. And twist to the side. Hello. Well, goodbye. I'm facing the other way. Lovely. Rounding up again. And we're going to lift. This is my left leg. Might be your right leg though. Step it back to the back of the mat. Embrace any wobbles that happen on the way. And we're going to raise the arms up. You have them on your hips as well if this is not comfortable for you, but we are going to point them forward and then slowly, wrong way, slowly try and twist in reverse. So we're twisting to the side where our bent knee is, so twisting that way. Lovely. Then we can twist this way as well if you like. Hello, big hug. And come back. And then sink straight back into that chair. And now see if you, when you rotate to the same side we just did the sort of opposing rotation to, see when you twist if you can hook your elbow onto your knee. I will shuffle around so you can see what I mean. So rotating, really squeezing the thighs together. You can have a block shoved between the thighs here, like so, to help engage the thighs. And then twisting, and see if you can hook that elbow onto the outside of the knee. Maybe you can't do that today, maybe you just like up here, that's fine, great stuff. Wherever you are, well done, and then bring it back. And then we're going to roll back up. I'm a tree, wriggle those little tree fingers. Maybe do another mini back bend, invite in that lovely energy. And then step the opposite foot back into your high lunge. Sweep the arms up. And we're going to do that rotation again. Arms out in front and twist it open. Hugs! And bring it back to the front. Open the opposite way. Bye. Bring it back to the front. Twist open. Hugs! Back to the front. Twist back round. Lovely. And step it back straight into our chair this time. Hands to heart centre. Sink into that chair. Engage those thighs and twist and see if you can hook the elbow on. Woo! Well done. I can feel a deep twist in my shoulder on this side. If anybody wants to try a big challenge, try stepping 1 foot back. Ooh, otherwise, come back to centre. If you took that on that side, maybe twist again. Twist again. And see if you can, woo, step it back on this side. Lovely. Otherwise, rise up to your mountain. Bring your hands to heart centre. We are now going to come into some little bit more innovative, because we're going with an Aquarius moon, some moon salutations. So arms go up, fold forward, hinge at the hips. You're like, this isn't moon salutations, I know, because we're not there yet. Maybe you're on your blocks here, in a bit of halfway. Maybe you sink the head down here a bit more. When you're ready, we're going to walk. If you've got blocks, walk your blocks out to the front. If you're not on your blocks, just walk your hands so that you are now long edge of the mat. Heel toe your feet out a little bit wider. On your blocks, you can be here in a halfway with the legs wide open. I'd say my legs are about a leg and a half width distance apart. Toes are facing long edge of the mat. And now start to sink the chest down towards, between the legs towards the mat. Let the crown of the head start to hang down towards the mat. Maybe you can get your head all the way down. Woo! Fancy old you, if you can do this. Well done. Wherever you are, well done. Feel that nice stretch through the backs of your legs. And then bring your hands to your hips and power up into our, open the arms out, star pose. So rotate those toes to the short edges of your mat. In a big star, hugs. And then step it over so that we're in a bit of a mountain pose on the opposite end of your mat to what you were working on before, facing the camera so you can see me. Sorry I can't see you today, but you know, I just have to imagine many beautiful faces watching. Inhale the arms up and then side bend. Inhale, exhale, side bend. In our standing crescent moon, I have got a video on just moon salutations if you wanted to watch that and go back to just that. Whew. And then bring hands to heart center, step it out wide, turn those toes outward again. Maybe bring your hands to your hips and slowly lower the bootay down towards the mat. Really grounding in through those feet, strong through the thighs. Switch on those core muscles and engage your mula bandha. So imagine you really need to go to the toilet and you're trying to hold it in. That should help you engage those muscles. Show you it from the side. So tailbone is tucked right in. So I'm not like leaning forward like this. Like that. Okay, so rotating those hips outward. Lovely. And come back up. Turn the set of toes that were at the opposite side of the mat we were working out earlier, turn those back to the front. The other toes, point them towards the short edge. So you've got one set facing the long edge, one set facing the short edge. Open the arms out and shift into a triangle, Trikonasana. Maybe you shift onto a block here. Fabulous. Maybe you bring your hand to the inner shin, resting on it rather than putting weight into it or your thigh. Find your triangle. Lovely. Maybe down here, wherever you are, making sure that chest is peeled open and we're not like this. Okay? If you are finding out you're this, then come up onto a block. Lovely. And then walking or sort of rotating that triangle into a pyramid. So back foot is facing towards either what would be 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending on which way round you are on your mat. Coming into a pyramid, handy on the blocks here again, making sure the neck is looking down at the mat rather than crunching looking forward. Lovely. If you're feeling like your hamstrings are awake for it, then into a forward fold. Lovely. Bit of a challenge if you would like one here. You can do a little bit of a shift forward. You might be on your blocks here for this, again, if you're in your pyramid on blocks, and adapt it to that. Shift the weight forward and see if you can raise that leg, flexing the foot out back behind you into a bit of a warrior three. But rather than go into warrior three, I'll demonstrate this on the block first. Grasp your block, keep that leg kicked, push into that block or the ground with your hand wherever you're at, and see if you can peel the chest open. Woo! Embrace any wobbles. I looked up. You need to find your drishti here, so you need to find one unmoving point. So So find your unmoving point on the ground. Woo, strong through that ankle into your half moon. And then close it back down. What we're going to try and do now, I find it harder on the block if I'm honest. Maybe if you need a rest, pop your leg back down for a minute or come back into your pyramid pose. Otherwise, shift forward and lift that leg up again. And then switch hands and see if you can rotate, let's be on the fingers here actually, the opposite way and open out the opposite way. Woo, rotate your half moon. Fancy if you're here. And then bend that front leg slightly and let the foot drop back down at that angle of sort of 2 or 10 o'clock and come back into your pyramid. Well done, guys. Oh, where were we going from there? I can't remember. Oh yeah. Bend the front knee, drop the back knee, come in to that lunge again. Maybe you've got your blocks here. Woo! And lift your arms up. Anjanasana. Fabulous. Now, coming into your Skandasana, maybe move those blocks to the front. Keep that foot where it is. And the back foot is going to come into that sort of gate pose that we were in earlier. So pull your foot back into that position. And then see, you can either be up on the blocks here, and this can be your Skandasana. Or you can flex the foot and come up onto the heel, and this can be a Skandasana, or this can be your Skandasana. Fantastic. Wherever you are, shift it over to the other side. So that sort of gate pose position that we were in earlier. On the opposite side, maybe you're on your blocks here, maybe you're lower down with the foot flexed. Fab. And then coming back round into that lunge. Travel your blocks with you wherever you're going, if you need them. Always good to just find out what it feels like on blocks sometimes as well, in comparison to without. Woo, I'm going to find that Anjanasana. Lovely. And we're going to push down into our foot, straighten the front leg out, back foot comes to that 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock position into your pyramid. We've been here before, front leg is stretched out. Maybe you want to fold into it, maybe you stay where you are, maybe you're on your blocks here. Slide your foot back a little bit and then see if you can pick up that back foot. If you know your warrior 3, maybe you want to bring your hands up to heart centre or whichever style of warrior you do. Otherwise, find that half moon again. So pushing down through the hand or the block as we try and open the other hand up towards the sky, rotating that chest open, kicking that back foot back powerfully into your half moon. Fabulous. Slowly and mindfully close it down. Embracing the wobbles. Maybe you want to drop your foot down here. Just have a little rest. Maybe you want to come back into your pyramid and you're like, no, Chloe, screw you. I don't want to rotate my half moon. Otherwise, see if you can twist it the opposite way. Keep kicking that back foot. Powerfully back. Foot is so flexed here. Wonderful. And then drop the foot back. Shuffle that foot forward maybe a little bit. Get your block here. We're going to come into that pyramid from the ground. So either pushing into your block or pushing into the ground, rotating the chest open into your pyramid. Wherever your pyramid is, lovely. Maybe put a little soft bend in the knee and power up. Whee! Back centre. Bring the toes back as we momentarily come into a bit of a star shape. Turn both sets of toes out. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Maybe have a wiggle here like me if you want to. Bend the knees, sinking into that goddess. Maybe you're on the hands on the hips, maybe on the cross and overhead this time. Lovely, and power back up. Step the foot together, meeting at the edge of the mat we were just working at. Raise the arms. Inhale, exhale, side bend. Inhale back that was our moon salutation halfway round with some half moons thrown in. This time we're going to go through it again and see if we can do it by sticking a yogi squat in the middle. Woohoo! So stepping it out into that goddess, turning those toes, sinking into the goddess. Lovely. Woo! We're going to go this way first this time. So turn the toes towards the edge of the mat you're going towards. Shift the weight over, so shift your hip and reach for something on the bookshelf. Oh, I can't reach it. And then tilt, 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 tilt into your triangle. Oh, did you hear my hip pop? Hip pops are normal. Embrace it, guys. This time we're going to come straight into the pyramid. So rotate the chest shut, looking over that extended front leg. Toes are pointed out, folding into the triangle. Bending the knee, coming in straight into the Anjali this time. Sweeping arms overhead, remembering if you need your blocks anywhere here. Fabulous. Coming into that Skandasana. Remembering where your Skandasana is. Fabulous. Instead of shifting straight over into Skandasana this time, we're going to walk the feet in a little bit. And you might want to do this on your blocks just to try it out first, and sink the hips down towards the ground. Maybe your yogi squat is here. So you're basically grinding down through the feet are slightly turned out, and lowering the hips down towards the ground. Seeing how far your bum can fall down to the ground without falling over backwards. And when you're here, take your hands to heart center and push the knees out, away from you. So thighs are pushing in, elbows are pushing them back out, like, no, get out my way, get out my way, get out my way. Back is nice and straight, spine is straight. In your yogi squat. Lovely, bring your hands to your mat or your block. Coming into that sort of gate pose position again to Skandasana. Maybe you're flexing that foot up towards the sky. Traveling round, taking the blocks with you if you need, opposite edge of the mat. Into your Anjanasana. And then pushing through that front foot. Back foot comes out to 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whichever way you're facing. Fold over into your pyramid, or wherever your pyramid is today. Take your hand inside the foot or the shin or the thigh or on your block. Open, peel that chest open and look up to the sky if you can in your triangle. Bend that knee slightly, power up, back into your star shape. Turn out your toes, goddess. Wonderful. Step it to the opposite edge of the mat. Back into your standing crescent shapes. Fabulous. And bring the hands down to heart center. Take a few breaths here. You're doing absolutely fabulously. Wonderful. Now step the feet out wide again. No, we're not doing any more moon salutations. You're going to take a wide leg, forward fold again. So we've been here before. Remember, if you need your blocks here. Maybe this time you'd like to take the hands behind the back and have a little stretch here. Lovely. Otherwise, walking your way back round and stepping both feet to the top of the mat, coming into a halfway lift, maybe on blocks here. And then folding all the way into a deep forward fold. Lovely. Now, you can hang out in your deep forward fold here, or take a vinyasa if you know what that means. If you don't worry about it, who cares? Or, if you've watched my crow video and you know how to crow, shuffle your feet out a little bit. Just a little bit, so they're sort of going to line up with your shoulders. So take a little bounce and see where your knees come to? Do they come towards your armpits when you do this and come up onto your toes in like a bit of a squat position? Or don't they? If they need to go a bit wider out, adjust yourself. Now take the hands, so bend the knees a little bit and push into the ground with the palms, and then lift the feet onto the balls of the feet and see if you can grip through your palms and shift forward, gripping powerfully, and see if you can lift your feet up in your crow, pulling those feet up towards the bum, protracting the shoulders powerfully, and then let it go. Fabulous little Aquarius pose. If you can do that, woohoo, well done. Then take the feet out wider, lower the bum down to the mat, bring the feet together, give yourself a little hug. High five, guys, wherever you're at. Take a few breaths. Woohoo! From here, take your hands behind you, behind the hips, and then just start to lift the feet, alternatively, off of the mat. Tap, 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 tap. Engage your core here. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe you want to take the hands behind the knees, behind the thighs here. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe you want to lift your feet all the way up and come into a full boat. Maybe you want to squeeze the thighs together and kick the feet outward. Try and balance on your bum in your half boat. Whew. And then swing the feet under the bum. Take the hands just behind the feet and turn the fingers away from you. So heels of the hand are towards your toes, fingers are pointing away from you. And see if you can just puff the chest up here. So take the hands behind, see if you can puff the chest. This can also be on the fingers. You can have a go at this with blocks behind you. If you are using blocks, try and get your little finger and your thumb to grab the block like this, and your other 3 fingers are in the middle. So you might have some blocks here to help with that. Otherwise, just have the intention of like puffing out. Then bring the hands overhead. Stretch. Grabbing that wrist like we did earlier and stretch the side body. Maybe we take the hands out in front and then just fold, like put your hand out as if you're offering something to somebody. Then grab the fingers and pull the fingers back. Now switch. Offer it, extend it and flex it. Keep your shoulder away from your ear as you do this, so you're not like that. Lovely. Now see if you can clasp your hands behind your back here. If you can't do that, see if you can grab your elbows, opposite elbows here, and make this shape. Take your thighs a little bit wider open and keep your arms whichever one you've chosen to be. And then slowly, slowly, slowly bring the head down towards the mat. If you can't bring the head all the way down towards the mat, stop where you can. If you're pinching in the back, just stop where the back pinches, or pop a block or a cushion under there. Yeah, like so. Now swing those feet out in front of you so that your legs are extended. Toes are pointing towards the ceiling. Just sit here for a moment. Find a nice neutral spine, sitting up tall. Feet come down towards the mat. Shift the feet forward and roll yourself down, all the way down, deep, deep down, back to the beginning where we started, lying on our mats, but facing the sky this time. Lift the feet and point them up towards the sky, so point your feeticles and wiggle your toesicles and point the bottom of your feet towards the sky. If you want to, you can point them here. Maybe have some ankle rotations here, because we had quite a lot of weight on one foot earlier. Keep rotating those feet and keep flexing and pointing. And try and see if you can spread your toes out wide. See if you can wriggle any individual toes. I can wiggle my middle toes, like the ones next to the foot. I have really weirdly flexible feet. Now bring them down to the mat. Keep the knees bent. And see how far you can shuffle them sort of towards your bum. Then push down into the mat with the palms and see, on 3, we're going to do an inhale, how far you can lift your hips up off the mat. Maybe you walk your feet in a little bit more. Fab, and roll it down. Maybe try that again with your hands. So clasp the hands together behind the back. And then on an inhale, push the hips up towards the sky. Hello sky, meet my hips. Woo! Maybe if you want to, lift alternate legs here. Maybe you're like, hell no, I'm tired now. Forget that. If so, just roll all the way back down. Lovely. And when you are ready, we are going to cross the ankles, take the arms around the knees and the shins, and just rock from side to side and give yourself a big congratulatory hug for anything you tried today that was different, outside your comfort zone, just getting yourself moving. Maybe you're just like, oh, I haven't really done the exercise in ages. Well done for just, showing up for yourself, getting on your mat, like moving your body, appreciating appreciating yourself. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out. Breathe in that air and exhale out all that stale air. And when you would like to, maybe extend your feet down towards the mat. Sink your shoulders down towards the mat. I invite you to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Maybe you want to grab a cushion or some blankets to make yourself comfortable here in your final resting pose, in your Shavasana. I invite you to remain here for a brief meditation. I'm going to roll to my side and come up so that I can guide you through that. Try now that you're here, relaxing into your mat, to take a deep inhalation and a big exhale. As you do so, feel the tension leaving your body. On your inhale, feel yourself expand, your rib cage expand, your stomach raise. Feel where your breath travels to. Notice if there's any tension left in your body and where it feels tight. And exhale from that point in your body. Let go of the tension. Maybe as you inhale, you notice you still have pesky thoughts bugging your mind. If you do, as you exhale, release them. Tell them to go. Ask them to move on. On your inhale, maybe just observe what those thoughts were. And on your exhale, release them. Let them pass on. This is your time to be still, not bothered by any of the thoughts. Try to tune in instead to how you feel in your body in this stillness. I invite you to take a hand to heart center, and perhaps you place the other on your abdomen. Just connect to the natural rhythm of your breath. I'd like now to invite you to imagine a purple violet light Maybe you can picture this purple or violet light in your mind. Try to focus your gaze towards the third eye chakra, so between your eyebrows. Maybe you would like to place a hand here, between the eyebrows, or just focus your gaze with your eyes shut on this area. As you inhale, see if you can picture that violet light. As you inhale, feel it spreading through your body, moving with your breath. As you inhale, it grows and expands. As you exhale, it travels like ripples through your mind, through your body, through your cells. And as you do this, feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the floor, grounding in. Imagine roots sprouting from your spine, burrowing down, down, down into the earth, into the darkness of the ground beneath us. As you inhale, imagine that violet light again spreading all the way through you, flushing out any negative emotions, thoughts, feelings. Imagine it spreading all the way through the body, pushing down, 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 sending it through the roots into the ground, releasing it from your body. I invite you now to think of a wish. Or a desire, or an idea you've been having that you would like to make possible. Maybe there's something you've been planning that you've not had the bravery to act on yet. Maybe there's something you've been feeling that you've not found the words to communicate yet. things you've been putting off doing for yourself, that you've been dreaming of doing. I'd like you now to picture what this thing is for you, this feeling, this thought, this plan, this idea, this emotion, these words, these thoughts. Now I would like you to imagine, as you inhale, them expanding in your body, the joy it would bring you if it were so, if it were possible, that these things could happen for you. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that light expanding beyond your body like ripples. Ripples travelling out into the air, expanding beyond your body as far as you can see beyond this room. Those violet purple ripples, sending out your intentions, your desires, your dreams. Now feel them radiating back to you as if you are communicating with the air to receive and transmit, to send and receive your desires, your dreams, your intentions. Connecting to the breath and to the stillness, inviting the receiving energy of these gifts, of these wishes. As you inhale, you receive. As you exhale, you send them out like a constant flow of ripples, connecting, vibrating, resonating, receiving, transmitting. When you're ready, tune back into my voice. Feel the temperature of the room around you on your skin. Listen for any noises in the room, out in the street, to raise your awareness of the here and now. Back in the room, on the surface that you rest upon. When you're ready, begin to wriggle the toes, perhaps move the ankles, the fingers, the wrists. Maybe shift the head from side to side, tuning back in to the here and now. When you're ready, blinking open your eyes. And whenever you're ready, to rise from your mat. I would like to thank you for joining me today to do this new moon in Aquarius flow. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you either experimented or tried something new, or are just really happy to have shown up for yourself today. I have a new moon necklace on actually as well. Didn't really notice that. So obviously I always have my crystals out as well whenever I do my yoga. So if you're interested in buying any necklaces that are symbolic to the new moon or any planets or zodiac signs, or just because they're pretty, then I'll also drop a link in there because I do make and sell these also. And so if you are interested in crystals and any of those sort of energies, or you just like jewellery, then maybe you can check those out as well, because the site has all of the information about the planets and zodiac signs and meanings of the crystals, etc. as well. They're quite nice to use for manifesting often as well. And I'd just like to say thank you and namaste. Happy new moon in Aquarius.
Namaste.